family. How are you? Well, I'm hoping everybody is doing wonderful after the holidays. You had Thanksgiving and then boom, it was Christmas and y'all been stuffing yourselves. I don't know if you've been stuffing yourself with ham, turkey, catfish, barbecue rib. I don't know. What you might have been a seafood brawl. I don't know, but it is time for us to do some detoxing. Okay, so it just depends on what detoxing is to you. I wanted to talk to you all about something. This will interest a lot of people, practitioners. I'm sure it will interest you. We're all growing together, aren't we? We're growing together. Hey, look, I don't know no more than y'all know. I mean, this is a new experience for me as well, okay? So we're growing together. This is not a place where I'm the big know-it-all and you just can't approach me because I got the big head. I know it all. I don't. I'm learning. I'm learning. To tell you the truth, I don't think, no matter how old we grow, I don't think we ever get to a maturity level where we can't learn something new or we can't grow. You know what I'm saying? Or just get to a point where, we're the masters of. And I say to myself, I hear people always talking about mastering yourself. I don't ever want to master myself because once you master yourself or you master things or whatever, that means that, there's no other place to go. I mean, you've seen it all and there's nothing new to look forward to. I just look at it like this. Each day I'm growing. Every year I'm growing. If I could live to be 100 years old, I will still never reach a level of maturity where I have mastered anything because I'm looking forward to something much greater, if you understand where I'm coming from. So anyways, y'all seen mama out there fussing and cussing up a storm, but I had to turn it down a notch because I get emotional when it comes to weather warfare. And that's what we've been going through, weather warfare. You know what I'm saying? Weather wars, where they're actually using this technology, you understand, creating weather as a way to combat against nature. So I got a problem with that. I got a problem with Babylon. Okay? Babylon is destructive, and if I have to be sacrificed and anyone else who's willing, we just have to be sacrificed so that things can go back to the natural order of things because it is falling. Most definitely. They are pulling out all of the stops. All of this weather here, this is January 5th of 2018. I'm sorry. Boom, 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 boom. 2018. That's where we are right now. And we had we really had a nasty snowstorm to come through about a month ago. And the Carolinas are dealing with an engineered snowstorm, and some of them are. I had a couple of people who said that they were snowed in. One of you all, give me a minute. We just gonna wait till that melt, and then we'll get started, okay? But anyways, there are people dealing with weather anomalies. These are created by man. Yes, mad scientists are behind all of this weather, this unusual weather, okay? Here we've gotten teens every night, back to back to back, almost 6-7 days worth. That I have been here 51 years come soon and I've never witnessed anything like it. And it's technology. What I was cursing about, and I'm going to slow down a little bit because I'm going to tell y'all something. When you're cussing like that, then your enemies think they're bothering you. I'm going to say it again. When you cussing, and people feed off of that energy. When you're angry and you seem to be a little bit deranged and discombobulated, you're putting out a lot of energy, and vampires do feed from that. So I always say, don't let them see you bothered. Don't let them see you sweat. Got gems and jewels for you, so get your bags out. I'm fixing to drop a golden nugget on you. I got one to drop on you. You got to realize that when you're doing that, the vampires feed from that. That's why when you got a lot of gossip going on in social media and on TV, people tend to gravitate to that because that's where most of the energy is. It's in the gossip. It's in the lies. It's in the, people watching other people go through difficult times. People feed off of that energy because it lets them know that they're not the only one that is dealing with hard times. You know what I'm saying? So I had to tone it down a little bit. I'm here to, in a sense, kind of apologize because it didn't take all of that. I know that I was feeding a lot of vamps. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, I can be a bit extra. But it's some energy, so you can go out there and you can feed off of it and stuff like that. Go ahead and get it. I served it. But we have to remain composed or poised at all times, especially when we are in the midst of spiritual warfare. And all of us are being spiritually attacked by the entity. Who is the entity? If you are going against the grain, it's the corporations. I'm looking, y'all. I'm just looking around because I just bought batteries for that smoke detector, and I didn't put them in, and it's letting me know it's time to put them in because the first of every year they get to doing this. Now see, this one is doing it now, so it's time to replace all of them. They last about a year, and that's one, and that's one. So it's about time for me to change them out. So when I get through, I'm going to change those out and stuff like that. Unless you got an entity, entities will come in and drain a lot of sources from your electricity. I was dealing with a electrical vamp that came here. It was white, glowing type. It didn't look like a light being. It looked more like a silhouette of a staticky, like white energy. And it was actually robbing me of energy. It was in my electrical box, which I had some trouble. This was about 6 months ago. And it came from the islands. You know who you are. When I say it came from the islands, it was somebody I was trying to help and do some work for. They were dealing with it, and it transferred. Y'all got to realize you can be infected by people over the phone. And I know a lot of folks don't get down like that. Know that if you can't, it's not the fact that I'm just cuckoo. It's just the fact you are out of your elements. We're on two totally different frequencies, okay? I don't know how people who are on other frequencies manage to find their ways over here unless they're just trolling. But yes, they can steal energy, and they can be transferred from one person to the next long distance, even over phone calls. It's true, okay? So I had this issue where in my electrical box, I started experiencing problems and with the electrical plugs in that room. I actually saw it here in this room, just moving throughout of my house. It was also robbing energy from us, and we had the experience, and that thing can be transferred. Some people are electrified people. They can manipulate that energy. I'm just going to be honest with you. Some people have supernatural powers to manipulate that energy ball, create that sphere, and send it to households, people, and on a higher level, even send it to nuclear plants where they're producing energy and house it and take it sometimes to, this is when you're dealing with people who are creating other dimensions, people who have the ability to create other timelines. They are able to create their own dimensions and their own timelines and rob the energy sources from wherever and transfer it to where they are. Very skillful beings. They're so skillful, it will take an omni-god to put their lights out. That's why on some dimensions it's totally black, pitch black, because all of the energy has either been depleted over time or robbed, but a individual entity source. And some people they have that ability to do that. They can restore the electricity in these areas. So now I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, she's nuts, she's bonkers." Okay, you got that. Now that you know that, it is okay to stop viewing the Spiritual Nima channel, the Spiritual Nima channel, the Mama YouTube channel. It's okay. I understand. I wouldn't want anybody here that felt uncomfortable or felt like I'm leading people astray or bonkers or anything. And so who better to start with than yourself? If you don't resonate with the material, be the example and don't come back. Of course, the world does not work like that, because usually the people who have this fascination with you, that's what it is. It's just infatuation. They tend not to leave because you are the a source of food that they feed off of, and the source that they feed off is light, is divine light. We all don't have the ability to emit the divine light that some of us emit. Some people emit far more than I myself do. You will know because you'll have a large following or what have you, which mine by no means is that large. But when you get on the level of actresses and stuff like that, when you get on the level of leaders, you're dealing with people who are emitting a great amount of divine source light energy. And so the people who don't have the ability to hold that, they tend to come to you for it. Okay, I'm gonna get that in a little bit, y'all. Okay, so that I want to just get that out of the way. But I did have a being that was here stealing energy, and it sucked because I had to deal with it for about a few months. But it brings me to this subject matter that I want to talk about. I want to talk about birds. Yes, birds are definitely used in witchcraft. It's a very powerful craft when you get into birds. Now, when you're doing, you note that witchcraft, or whatever you want to call it, these supernatural force crafts, it's deep. It's studies that can take eons to learn, because you got your crystal magic, you got people who are gifted with the stones. I'm having a fascination with solid stones, the stones that people do not care for. Etching things in stone is forever. Stones were here from the beginning of the origins of the beginning of whatever this is, the beginning of consciousness. I feel like the stones were first, and they hold the most power, because if there's anything etched in stone, there's no way to destroy it unless you're going to try to burn it. And yes, fire is the great cleanser and the great destroyer. I think fire may be a little bit more greater than water. No, I know what you said. No, water is greater than fire. And then somebody said, no, air is greater than them all. And then somebody says, no, it's not air that's greater than them all. It's earth that's greater than them all. Earth, wind, and fire. But they always forget about the water. Which one do y'all think is most powerful? I think whatever is the most powerful is whatever I have my abilities to work. That's what's most powerful. What I can manipulate, what I can work here, myself personally. I'm all over the place. So you got your stones. You got some people working fire. You got some people working water. You got some people working air, some earth, some plant life. When you get to the herbs and manipulating energy and the electricity, as I said. You know what I'm saying? Consciousness. Some people can manipulate consciousness and have you just all over the place. Bonkers. You wonder, why am I losing my mind? And you be screaming and pitching fits and all of that like that. But you're being manipulated by an entity. I was being manipulated by an entity. You heard me. I'm forcing that energy out after I just said that I was not going to give off too much. You got to give some because that's what you're here for. You're here to participate in this matrix system, whether you want to or not. Okay, you're here for that. And sometimes I try to harness energy because I need the energy to do a lot of work. So I want masturbate or, climax or whatever it takes to put that excitement energy out into the atmosphere. Not doing any of that, it makes you more powerful. It's just the truth, okay? It makes your work a little hard, much better than most. And most people, that's their weakness. That's how they get you. Fasting also is a good tool for making you more powerful. But I said all of that to say this right here. Working with the birds or the animals, but the birds. Some insects, but working with the birds. It's a powerful form of witchcraft. And working with them. Woo! Have mercy, Lord. My. Folks can send birds to your home. The good skilled ones can send birds. They can send owls. Like I had the owl. Woo! That might be good. That might be bad. They mess